Welcome to the F&P Vargas Show. Fabian Vargas. What's up, guys? I know I've been a little MIA lately. Pam as well. We've been extremely busy, so we haven't forgotten. We just been really busy. Today, the episode brings you to my kitchen. So I'm gonna do this from my kitchen today because I'm gonna do some cooking and stuff like that. Those that know me, you guys know that I love to cook. Those that don't, I do love to cook. I cook a lot of Spanish food. It's one of my kind of therapeutic things that I used to do. Unfortunately, with us being so busy the past few years and opening up a couple of businesses and doing other projects here and there, my time has really been limited. And I've also been doing a lot of studying and business courses and stuff like that, and they teach you to please to leverage your time. So I've been really into the whole time, watching my time, making sure that my calendar is booked, and cooking. For me, cooking Spanish food could take 2 or 3 hours, and it's just something that I just passed on because I just really leverage my time. But I do love to cook, and also the past couple of years, being that I've been so busy, I've noticed that my health hasn't been so great. Running around eating garbage and stuff like that, and I'm eating the best thing because just grabbing a bite to eat and just keep on going. My health has gone down. I used to be a personal trainer in my younger days. I've competed in bodybuilding. I've competed in powerlifting. I've always been one that was really into fitness. High school, started back in high school. I joined the weightlifting team, and that's when I came across and learned about fitness and weightlifting. Then I got into boxing back in Sunset Park in New York, in Brooklyn. Really appreciated the sport of boxing, appreciated the sport of weightlifting, started competing in bodybuilding, started competing in powerlifting, got my personal training certifications, became certified sports nutritionist, certified elite performer trainer. Then I got my certificate to train personal trainers, so I started teaching courses on training personal trainers and examining them and making sure that they're doing the right thing for their clients. So ever since then, I've really been involved in fitness and everything. So, now I'm not gonna go back to cooking like my Spanish food like I used to do, but I am going back into the healthy route. Shakes, fruit shakes, vegetable shakes, protein shakes. I do a lot of concoctions. It's funny because, like I said, I was a certified sports nutritionist and I was heavily involved in fitness for a while. So I learned what works for me. So tonight I'm gonna make some eggs, some pasta on the side, maybe put it together or whatnot. But I know it might sound disgusting to some of you guys, but you know what? It works for me. Like I've eaten rice and tuna, plain rice and tuna, boil my chicken. For weeks I lived on lettuce and maybe a little bit of sugar, especially on pre-contest. Those of you guys that bodybuild know about the pre-contest, those sugar rushes to get you filled up and stuff like that. But it's a whole science. I'm not gonna get into that. That's not what the show is about. But just a little bit, just let you guys know what's going on. Pam and I are kind of transitioning into the commercial side of real estate. We're taking Cardone University right now, learning a lot about real estate investment. We're kind of slowly transitioning away from residential, even though we're still going to do residential. We'll help out friends, family. If we take referrals, we'll do it through referral. We're not really going to heavily market the residential side. For many reasons that I'm not going to go into that right now. But we are definitely transitioning more to the commercial side. We're going to do more multi-unit family investing, strip malls, storefronts, stuff like that. And pretty soon I'm going to start studying for my brokerage license. I'll be eligible to take it next year, the beginning of next year. I have to have 2 years of real estate sales under my belt before I'm qualified to even take the exam through the state of Florida. So I'm going to start studying for that this summer because I hear that it's a pretty intensive test. But next year I'll be taking my broker's license. Hopefully we could open up our own office. If we don't open up our own office, maybe I'll be a broker manager for a real estate company. I don't know. We'll have the opportunity to do that with our current broker now. But time will tell. It's a year from now, so I'm not even going to get into that right now. We're really happy with who we are with. They've been great for us, to us. So there's no plans to change anytime soon. But with that said, going into the commercial route, a lot of personal development, a lot of learning, a lot of education. So like I said, we've taken Cardone University, spent a lot of money on these programs, they've been working out excellent for us. Pam, she's on it. She's addicted to it. She's obsessed with it. It's great. I also love it. So we've learned a lot. We've definitely the money's worth it. I know a lot of people have things to say about Cardone University and Grant Cardone himself, but us personally, we love him. He's a great mentor to us. Great coach, great teacher for us. We're learning a lot, and that's all that matters. With that said, I kind of want to go over into that whole what works for you might not work for somebody else. Just like I was saying with fitness, I learned when I was training people that every one of my clients was different. I could put them on a sports nutrition program, on a diet, and put them on a workout regimen, and I could bring on the same. I could bring on somebody else and put them on the same plan, and completely disaster. It would not work for them. So it's just learning what works for you and what doesn't work for you. I know what works for me as far as my nutrition is concerned. Like I said, I could make a little bit of pasta and make some eggs, and I completely feel filled. My stomach is good. I got the right amount of carbs, the right amount of protein, and I'll lose weight. And on top of that, I'll still be able to retain my muscle mass. So like I said, it's a science. Same thing as personal development. There's a lot of coaching programs out there, a lot of education programs, just like a lot of universities. So you want to make sure that when you attend or spend your money on something, especially when it comes to education, make sure that it's gonna, it works for you. I know it's a trial and error. You're not gonna know if it works for you. You still start taking it. So it's kind of one of those things that, good luck. Hopefully that it works out. But like I said, going back to the Grant Cardone University, it's working great for us. We have nothing but the best to say about it. Not a lot of people don't get what we get out of it, but excuse me, to each their own. I'm currently reading a book. I'm going to show you guys right now. John Maxwell, Laws of Leadership. I think it's an excellent book. I love to read. I try to read one book a week, depending on the size of the book and my time, of course. I take a lot of time for personal development. I get up at 5 o'clock in the morning. I take at least an hour to an hour and a half just to read. I even started not even touching my phone when I get up. I had a bad habit of that, and a lot of people, a couple of mentors told me, stop doing that. It's not that serious. It's not that important. Emails could wait. Nobody's going to be up at that time. Well, at least most people are not up at that time anyway. Even if you respond to the emails, they're not going to see it until, when they get up and once they deal and get into office. So I've learned not to even touch my phone when I wake up anymore. I leave it alone. I leave it on the counter, or I put it to charge and I leave it alone. I come in the kitchen when it's nice and quiet. By the time I get in my kitchen, I make coffee, sit on my dining room table, or sit in the office, and I'll pick up my book. I'll read. By then, Pam is already, coming out of the bath, and she's joining me, reading her book. So that's quiet time for us. About an hour, nice before Aurora gets up, and then the whole hustle and bustle starts with her getting her ready to school, and taking her to school, and then us going to the office and all that stuff. But right before she gets up, we try to take that quiet time to read. It's very important. Little bit that I wanted to touch base as well with. I started coming across some terms, entrepreneur versus intrapreneur. I don't know if you guys are familiar with. I know a lot of people are familiar with the entrepreneur, but a lot of people are not familiar with intrapreneur. Intrapreneur is basically an entrepreneur-spirited person that did not find or create the company. However, they are entrepreneur-spirited and they are in the company helping grow it. So people like a CEO, CFO, COO, maybe somebody, the president of the company, somebody in upper management, that they're there. They're entrepreneur spirited because they could think for themselves. They could help grow the company. They could think outside the box to grow the company, but it is not their company. A lot of people have made money. If you look at a lot of successful people, a lot of them are intrapreneurs, which means that they are CEOs, presidents of the companies. They didn't they're not founders of the company, but they make a lot of money. You're talking about $300,000, $400,000, $500,000 a year, sometimes into the millions. A perfect example of that is Steve Jobs. Steve Jobs, of course, he had a fight with Apple. They parted ways with Apple, even though he was the founder, and then came back to Apple to help reinvent the company. So he started as an entrepreneur, and then when he came back to the company, he was an intrapreneur. So he was an employee, again, for Apple, the company he founded or helped find, and became an intrapreneur. So he helped reinvent the company because they were struggling a little bit before he came back. Another example for all my real estate friends out there, Gary Keller just did the same thing. Gary Keller, one of the founders of Keller Williams, left the company, and now he's back, and now he is an entrepreneur in the company that he helped find. So, entrepreneurship is not for everybody, and I've made a video about this before, and a lot of people know that, not everybody wants to, they don't have that vision, they don't have the mentality to start a company, grow a company, scale a company. They're just not into it. A lot of people would rather just work for somebody, have the systems in place and stuff like that. But I really do urge, find it inside yourself to figure out exactly what you want to do. If you don't want to, build a company, if you don't want to do something for yourself as far as the entrepreneurship route, then become an entrepreneur. Give it all you have for whatever company you're working right now, or if whatever career path you want to, you're trying to strive for. Set out goals and focus on personal development, focus on education. Really, really figure out what you want to do, figure out your goals, become an entrepreneur. Find your career, hit it hard, climb the ladder, go all the way to the top. And let me tell you, entrepreneurship, there are times that you can make so much more money than somebody that founded a company. So much more money that started a company or bought a company. And you don't have the responsibility of ownership. You just, and you also, entrepreneurship is also good because you kind of could step outside the box and not have that worry of, if it doesn't work, am I going to lose my company? Because ultimately it's not your company. So you do have an emotional tie, but you don't have an emotional tie like an owner would have. So your vision is not so much clouded, so you could bring a vision from outside into the company, and a lot of times it will help the owner because his vision is clouded because he's so worried about losing the company, losing the employees and losing everything that he's strived to build. Every company out there that grows is going to need a president, it's going to need a CEO, it's going to need a CFO, it's going to need a COO, you name it, go through the alphabets, it's going to need somebody that's at the top. So please strive to be better, strive to be the best you can be. Remember, we only got one life. I think, I don't remember the exact number, but somebody reverse engineered and went backwards on time, and they added up the time that we have of a job, the time that we spend in a job all our life up to the age of 75, the time we have a job, the time we have sleeping, the time we have for extracurricular activities. Before you knew it, I think it came down to you only have 8 years or something like that to have time for yourself and really enjoy life. 8 years is nothing. Really 8 years is nothing. So if you add up the time that you spend doing other things and trying to succeed, and then you minus the time that you actually have for yourself and do what you want, whether it's working out, traveling, going to car shows, whatever it is that you decide to do. Even if it's just sitting down and watching movies, doesn't matter. Whatever you decide to do and you want to do, you don't have much time left. Life is very short. So please, I urge you, just stick to personal development, seek out some education, seek out some mentors, seek out some coaches, figure out what you want to do, whether it's entrepreneurship or intrapreneurship, be the best you can be. I try to do that every day, as you guys can see. I'm always reading. Now I'm back to my health kick again. Trying to eat right because, I want to live a long life. I want to live a long, healthy life, All the hustle and bustle of every day of trying to figure things out, trying to build a company, trying to scale a company, having employees, having all this stuff, it gets exhausting. Before you know it, man, 60, 70 years old, and you look back and you're like, where the hell did my freaking life go? And you want, at least if you get there, you want to be as healthy as you can be. So this way you could be like, okay, you know what, I'm going to slow it down, maybe even retire, but I'm definitely going to take my time, more time for myself. I'm going to take more time to enjoy myself, and I want to be healthy. I want to be healthy as a rock. So I hope everybody, I know New Year's, a lot of people had their New Year's resolutions and they got back to the gyms and got back on their diets. I hope a lot of you guys are still, trying to do that. I know a lot of people drop off in February and even in March, but I really hope that a lot of you guys are really sticking with your diets and your workout regimens and all that stuff. If you need any advice, you need any help, I haven't been in the game for a while, man. It's been a while since I personal trained and did a lot of workouts and stuff like that, but it's still in here for whatever that means. But if you guys need help, any suggestions, any advice, please just give me a call, comment below, and ask me any questions, and I'll try to answer those as best as possible. All right. Well, guys, like I said, me and Pam are still in it. Sorry that you haven't heard from us in a while. We've just been really busy. I guess this episode we could call it kitchen confessionals. whatever you want to call it. But thank you. But yeah, guys, thanks for watching. Fabian Vargas, F&P Vargas Show, and I appreciate you guys. Comment below. Let me know if you guys have any questions. Give me a call, whatever you want. I'll put my information on the bottom. All right? Take care. Bye.